Hello there, angels, and welcome back to Touch by Ty Hair Co. Today, I will be going through how to set a good foundation for a closure unit. Starting off, you will need your Make It Yourself mesh dome wig cap. You will need your canvas head and your tripod stand. You will also need to have with you a metallic Sharpie marker. I like to use the silver ones, or you can use white chalk. As you can see, I have my canvas head here, identifying the front and the back of the canvas head. The back having the hoof, a little hump like the back of your head, and the front being flush. When placing your cap onto your canvas head, you want to ensure that you have a good fit and that it's even. It's very important. You just want to set a strong foundation, and that starts with proper cap placement, as you can see me doing here. Now, as you can see that space, we're going to eliminate that by stretching the cap down, ensuring that it is still centered, and then you pin the back of your cap. This was for me. This unit that I'm making was for me. So I did not measure it. I just kind of freelanced it just to show you guys how to set this is just for the purposes of setting a good unit foundation. But if you were making this for a client, you would definitely use your forehead to nape measurement here. And where I'm pinning it at would be where your nape measurement would end, and where you lay the cap in the forehead area, that will be the beginning of your forehead, and that will give you your forehead to nape measurements. And I'll show that in another video that I'll make. I'll show you guys how to really, do it step by step if you're making something for a unit. But this is for the beginners that just want to know how to go about making your track lines and setting your foundation. Here I'm showing you where everything is centered. And I'm ensuring all the way through the back of the cap. And as you go, if you realize that you need to readjust, please do that. It's okay to do that. As you can see me here, I readjust. I see that one side is higher than the other. And these things make a difference once you start to sew the tracks onto the cap, because it will affect how your lines are drawn onto your dome cap. So you just want to make sure everything is even and tight. Start by, I like to go a 1/2 inch above the first seam of the cap. And I start in the middle drawing my line, and I just make it straight all the way across, as you see here. I do double my tracks on my custom units. Some people do, some people don't. So if you do choose to double your wefts, you want to make your lines about 1 inch apart from one another. And as you see, I just take my time going straight across, making a straight flush line. Y'all excuse my dogs in the background. Lord Jesus. Y'all probably can hear them barking. But straight lines. And you're going to do this throughout all the way up to the top of the cap. Making those straight lines. Ensuring that your lines are even on both sides of the cap. I thought I did it in this video, but you'll see me, I think I do it in this video, where I turn and look from the front, and I ensure that there it is. Yep. And I ensure that I'm just having even lines, because you don't want, when you or your client go to put on your cap, that your tracks are not even going all the way through. Please understand, I thought that these lines had to be like super, super perfect. You want to make them perfect enough to the eye, as straight as possible. Nobody is expecting you to take a ruler and draw a straight line. If you want to do that, that's fine. But you just want a good flush, straight line, clean lines, because this is how your tracks are going to be laid. These are the lines that you're going to follow if you're using the sewing machine method. And this is how your tracks are going to lay onto your cap. So ensure that you don't have squiggly lines. Just try to make them as straight as possible to the eye. Ensure that you're even as you're going up to the top. Okay, so as you see, I have my closure here. I stopped drawing the lines because now I want to create. I look a mess, Chad. I want to create the outline for my closure piece. I don't want to go up too far. I want to ensure that I get my outline for my closure piece at the top, and then I'll finish lining out the rest of my cap. When placing your closure piece on the unit, you bring it down to the front of the cap, as you see here. You want to pull it down about a ½ inch, 3/4 of an inch forward. This is very important. You do not, I repeat, you do not want to line the front of your hairline up with the front of the cap. You want to pull it slightly forward, a ½ inch to 3/4 an inch forward, okay? Because you're going to eventually cut that mesh from up under there to create your scalp-like appearance for your closure. And you don't want it to be, it won't be enough room for your unit, for your closure piece to lay on your head. So please, 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 okay? And I will do a wig tutorial, okay? But for the purposes of tracing, pull up your closure, not halfway. It don't have to be all the way up, but about a ½ inch to 3/4 of an inch forward. Pin it in the center, and then from here, you want to ensure that you pin everything down tight and flat. Tight and flat. Tight and flat. Reason being, you do not want a bumpy or bubbly or wavy wig. Nobody wants that. You want your wig to fit your head nice and tight. So this part is definitely important. Ensuring that everything is flush and flat when pinning it down, okay? You're creating the marks for how you're going to sew your closure on. So however those lines are is how you're going to sew on that closure piece. And you want it flat, completely flat. Pin it down, stretch it out. Not like stretch it out all the way, but you do want to give it a little tension to ensure that it is flat and flush on that canvas head. You want those lines straight. You want that thing to lay, honey, lay. You see me here, I'm just ensuring that I got a nice flat surface here. And I'm showing you that. Sometimes you have to readjust. This should not be a rush process. Ladies and gentlemen, this is how your unit is going to fit. So please do not rush. And then you'll see as I lay the back first, and then I go and I pull, look, flatten, and pin those sides down. Okay? Very important. And that's it. You once you get it pinned down, okay, you draw your line. All right, nice and flat. That's all I'm going to sew it down. Nice and flush, flat, even. Okay, don't give nobody no uneven closure piece now. And you will continue the process, tracing out the closure. Nice and neat, nice and clean, so that you can see where to replace it. And then I remove it. Some people like to go ahead and sew down their closure. I like to make my closure my last thing. I do not like it getting in the way while I'm working on the sewing machine. And there you have it. Nice and flat. And clean lines. And now I go back to, now that I have my closure traced out, I can go back, trace the rest of my lines, and finish out my foundation for my unit. You might watch videos, some people do things differently, but this is basically how I get my lines. And as you see, it's just even all around. Not perfect. Try to keep that spacing equal. Not perfect, but good enough where you can see it. Stevie Wonder can see those lines, baby. All right. And that's how I create my foundation, guys. Oh, that's it. Easy peasy. Like, share, and comment. Thank you guys for stopping by, and I'll catch you on the next Talks with Ty.